Picture this. You're an ancient traveler crossing unforgiving deserts and unpredictable seas. You can taste the dust in the air. You feel bone-deep exhaustion after months of grueling travel. But then, you stand in breathless awe before humanity's most colossal achievements. You're looking at structures defying the absolute limits of reality. Today, we're diving into an explainer of the ultimate ancient bucket list, the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
You see, these travelers weren't simply staring at large buildings. They were witnessing profound physical statements. When writers like the Greek poet Antipater of Sidon compiled these lists, they were essentially creating the world's first travel guides. This reveals the true mindset of antiquity. Ancient societies boldly declared they could master their environment, command staggering resources, and dictate exactly how the future would remember them.
Think about ordinary construction, like stacking clay pots or building a simple wall. Useful, sure, but a true wonder is defined by resistance. It's the absolute logistical nightmare of dragging 2.5-ton limestone blocks across a scorching desert entirely without modern machinery. Greatness, in the ancient mind, was directly measured by how much immense difficulty, friction, and physical resistance had to be overcome. So, what exactly elevated a mere structure into a legend? It required 4 crucial ingredients. First, scale breaks our normal mental limits. Second, skill proves we can solve seemingly impossible engineering problems. Third, meaning transforms a massive physical object into a potent symbol. And lastly, memory ensures a legacy outlasts the stone itself. Without all 4, it simply wasn't a true ancient wonder.
This brings us to the definitive list. The Great Pyramid, the Hanging Gardens, the Statue of Zeus, the Temple of Artemis, the Mausoleum, the Colossus, and the Lighthouse. When Alexander the Great's conquests opened the Eastern world, Greek travelers finally saw these marvels. This wasn't a random catalog, it was a civilization's deliberate filter for deciding what represented absolute peak human capability.
Take the Great Pyramid of Giza, built by the pharaoh Khufu. This was far more than just a royal tomb. It represents power actively trying to outlast death itself. Rulers used this massive burial site to turn abstract political authority into a permanent reality. To put its scale into perspective, for over 3,800 years, it remained the tallest man-made structure in the world. Contrast that desert monument with the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. This wonder was a breathtaking expression of controlled beauty. Legend says King Nebuchadnezzar II built this masterpiece for his wife, Amethyst, because she was homesick for her green homeland. By elevating exotic plant life into a massive oasis, it proved human ambition could literally re-engineer nature itself. Then we have the breathtaking statue of Zeus at Olympia, created by the master sculptor Phidias. Here, deep religious devotion met unparalleled artistic skill. The ancient Greeks firmly believed that securing divine favor required public proof of extraordinary magnificence. Crafted entirely of gleaming ivory plates and solid gold, this 40-foot masterpiece was a society pouring its highest craftsmanship into securing heaven's goodwill. The massive temple of Artemis at Ephesus illustrates a city expressing its devotion at an astonishing scale. Double the size of the famous Parthenon, the Ephesians competed for ultimate cultural prestige by concentrating their wealth into a dazzling forest of carved marble columns. Yet there is a dark historical irony. The temple was intentionally burned to the ground by Herostratus, simply to immortalize his own name. Look at the mausoleum at Halicarnassus, built for the ruler Mausoleucus and his wife Artemisia. This is memory-made architectural, completely transforming a burial site into a monumental symbol. The sculptural reliefs were so stunningly detailed that conquering armies actually left the tomb entirely untouched, out of pure respect. It spectacularly cemented an individual's legacy, giving us the word mausoleum today. The Colossus of Rhodes pushed this instinct to massive extremes. After surviving a brutal siege, the Rhodians built a 108-foot bronze titan using melted-down weapons from the fleeing enemy. Talk about an undeniable declaration of civic victory. Surprisingly, an earthquake snapped its knees just 54 years later. Yet the sheer scale was so impressive, people traveled to marvel at its fallen ruins for 800 years. The Lighthouse of Alexandria reveals something truly fascinating: knowledge turned into physical infrastructure. Built by the Ptolemaic kingdom on the island of Pharos, it featured a massive mirror reflecting sunlight by day and a roaring fire at night visible 30 miles away. Standing on the Egyptian coast, it perfectly blended practical navigation for ships with a radiant symbol of intelligence, wealth, and scientific mastery. When we look at these monuments, we realize a profound truth. A wonder is never only a thing. It is always a statement. Wonder building was the ultimate form of political storytelling. These towering structures proved to anyone who saw them that the builders possessed staggering wealth, controlled massive amounts of human labor, and held an undeniable, almost divine right to rule. All 7 distinct monuments connect directly to universal human desires. The intense impulse to build far beyond what is necessary for survival, the impulse to make fleeting power visible, and the impulse to turn passing time into permanent memory. These ancient builders knew their flesh would fail, so they built colossal avatars in stone and bronze, hoping these creations would speak for them across the millennia. Which leads us to a profoundly fascinating question. If only the Great Pyramid physically survives today, why do the others remain immortal? Earthquakes toppled the Colossus and the lighthouse, fire consumed Artemis. Time and war relentlessly dismantled the rest. Today, only the Great Pyramid stands defiant. Yet we must weigh the physical fragility of carved stone against the undeniable permanence of our collective human memory. They survive as shared memory objects. A missing monument often grows even larger in our imagination because we fill the physical gaps with sheer awe. The physical objects may have been conquered by nature, but they achieved their ultimate goal. They successfully made human ambition outlast time itself. Thousands of years from now, when our tallest skyscrapers are nothing but dust, what will be our 7 wonders?